Recently I've had a couple of phone calls from people that were, one was a hotel I tried to book so we could do a paranormal investigation there, and they didn't want to have anything to do with a paranormal group. They didn't want us to have anything, or they didn't want to have anything published in social media of any kind that would relate to them and get their name involved with anything paranormal. Why would this occur? Actually, I even had an organization I had applied for a grant from, and they kind of turned us down. The reason for the project met all the guidelines that they had published that they wanted. And the only reason I can see that they turned us down was they didn't want to have their name associated with a group that had the name paranormal in it. We also had done a cemetery restoration near Belleville, Texas. And the state, in that particular incident, the State Historic Commission came out and we got it cleaned up. They came out and put a historic monument on the cemetery. Even though there was a discussion about our organization and the role we had played in it, and it was a key role, I promise you, but the state decided they didn't want to have it, a paranormal group's name on a historical mark, so therefore they just called us a volunteer organization out of Houston, had performed the work. Which is fine. We got a chuckle out of it at the time. But as the years go by and you keep running into this stuff, you have to ask yourself, what's going on here? What I've started to ask is, what causes people to do this? Why is there an anti-paranormal sentiment around? So I've come up with these possibilities. If you can think of any others, you might add them to my list. Let me know. One is a belief that the paranormal does not exist, or that people that believe in the paranormal are simply have mental problems, or that the paranormal events they're talking about are figments of their imagination, and that there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of the paranormal world. They may argue that any claims of paranormal activity may be explained by man-made phenomena or natural phenomena. Some people may have a fear of the unknown. The paranormal can be a scary place and mysterious topic, and some people may be afraid of what they might discover if they look at it too closely. They may worry about opening themselves up to dark forces or entities that they cannot control. This may be very real. It may be that a desire on their part to protect people from harm. They may strongly believe that the paranormal is dangerous and that it is important to protect people from. They may argue that people who believe in the paranormal are more likely to be tricked or exploited by others. In some cases, I could understand that. Or they might put themselves in danger by seeking out paranormal activity. And certainly that can happen too. You know, you go stumbling around in a cemetery at night or around the house that you're investigating, you can trip over a faucet or a hazard in the yard, and become injured. Yes, you just have to be careful. You could do that in your own yard for that matter, just walking around your own house. So there's no reason to think that because you're out on a paranormal event, it's any more likely to happen. A commitment to science and reason is the part of some people. Some organizations, such as the Skeptic Society, are committed to scientific method and pursuit of knowledge through evidence. They may believe that the paranormal is not a valid field of study, and that it is a waste of time and resources to even investigate it. My own personal belief is, and I have been doing this, I've had paranormal experiences all my life. In the last 16 years of my life now, I have been investigating paranormal events, and I have hard evidence and soft evidence that it does exist, and I'm firmly convinced that it exists. So, I'm more than willing to talk to anybody that's skeptical. If you need some reassurance or you want knowledge, I think a lot of it is lack of knowledge, and that they haven't looked into it. They don't understand the paranormal. But if you'll give us a chance, I'll be happy to get on a Zoom call with you or some other type of method. Come do a presentation. I can show you our evidence. and you can form your own opinion. It is most important to note that not all organizations are as skeptical of the paranormal or anti-paranormal as other organizations are. The Paranormal Research Society are open to the possibility of the paranormal, but they require a high level of evidence before they will accept a claim as being true, which is okay. I require a high level of evidence too, and I do my best to debunk it and come up with explanations as to how it happened, why it happened, and what made it occur. I mean, some of it can be weather conditions, you know. There are lots of reasons why certain things happen. But when you rule those out and you're only left with paranormal, hey, I've been there, I know. Ultimately, whether or not you believe in the paranormal is a matter of your personal opinion. And there is no right or wrong answer. That's what AI tells us in a research that we did on this, that there is no right or wrong answer. I say there is a wrong answer because the paranormal does exist. I've seen it, I know about it. I was a rescue captain in the fire department for 10 years, and I had a number of paranormal experiences during that time, and that's what started me on my journey to investigate it. So I think that if you really are looking for answers, you ought to be open to having somebody come do a presentation and talk to you and explain and show you what they know, and to educate yourselves a little bit and arm yourselves a little bit, because in the 16 years I've been doing the investigations, I've never run into anything that was really harmful to most people. Now, I have to say that there have been about 5 cases, so that's about 1 every 3 years that you hear about, that I've sent a demonologist to. And I'm not sure that those were all, you know, I didn't go investigate them. They just wanted the entity gone, that they were having a bad experience with it, and they didn't want to understand it. They didn't want to know what was triggering it or anything. They just wanted it gone. When you got a case like that, there's no point in even trying to investigate it, so we don't. I send someone out that I've called on before to go out and to go ahead and remove that spirit and send it on its way, or get it out of the residence. But if you're wanting to learn more about paranormal and events, we've got a bunch of podcasts that we have put out on YouTube that you can look at, demonstrate a lot of our evidence on those if you want to see it. Ultimately, whether or not you believe in the paranormal is a matter of your personal opinion. I have mine, and as a rescue captain in the fire department, I've had quite a bit of experience with it. I've been with a lot of people that passed, and I started to notice that things changed, and that's what got me going on the path to investigate the paranormal. I haven't run into anything evil myself. We've had maybe 5 cases over the 16 years I've been doing it, and we have sent a demonologist out to take care of those cases. There's normally no reason to investigate them because someone is, not wanting to live with that entity, and it is at a point where they're at their wits' end. They just want it gone. So the demonologist goes out, takes care of it, it's gone. And sometimes we have to get a second demonologist. Sometimes it takes more than one trip. But anyway, you don't have to live with something evil, and we don't have to fear something evil. There's nothing evil that's going to get us. If we have a strong enough belief in God, and our religion and our faith is strong enough to support us, they'll go pick on somebody else. They'll leave us alone. They try to pick on people that are in a weakened state. When I walk in and people have complained about having something evil there, it vacates. It never shows itself while I'm there. It's afraid to deal with me, and it can be afraid to deal with you too. Just have a strong faith, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and believe in God, and it's taken care of. Don't worry about it. If you need somebody to come out and give you a presentation, or you'd like to review our evidence with us, I'll be happy to do that with you. You can give me a shout or contact me on my email that's listed. Thank you.